this. I went to go eat, and now I'm back. Took a big old break. It was like 2 hours or so. Something like that. Anyway, back to physiology. This is the 23rd of September. So, starting off with mucus. That's kind of gross. So mucus is secreted by mucus cells and submucosal glands. The density of those cells and glands decreases down the respiratory tract, and you can get hyperplasia of the mucus cells in chronic disease, which causes more mucosal secretion. What is mucus for? Well, protecting. In the context of the respiratory tract, it protects the conducting airway surfaces and it traps inhaled debris. Like if you've got more irritation, your body's going to make more glands to make more mucus. Ozone, polluted air. Yeah. Making mucus go away, that's what the mucociliary elevator is. I think that's what it's called. Hold on, let me look that up. Elevator. Mucociliary elevator. Yeah, that's where you just cough up mucus all the time. Not like to some insane extent, but that's the purpose of coughing. Coughing is you're clearing your respiratory tract. I mean, it's no puzzle, really. You force exhalation, and there's a point in the intrathoracic airways at which pressure outside the airway starts to exceed pressure inside the airway. And so you force the air out. What are my thoughts on John Cena retiring? I don't know. He's been around for quite a long time. Is he retiring from movies or WWE? And the rapid movement of air through the lung or the respiratory tract shears things away from airway walls. Well, wrestling, well, he was pretty good while he was there. He's iconic. So, but all things come to an end. So, yeah, coughing, you decrease the lung volume and the equal pressure point moves toward the central airways. If you do coughing, if you do like, multiple times in a row, that's called serial coughing. During exhalation can move mucus from periphery to the central airways. It's faster than mucociliary clearance, which again is done by the cilia in the respiratory tract. And those cilia can get damaged, and so coughing is more effective either way. Coughing is not smooth. It's a staccato, abrupt action. Why? Well, again, it's shearing all the junk, all the gunk off those respiratory walls. Hi, how's it going? Now, when would a doctor or a veterinarian, in my case, want to stop? Oh, not much is up. I'm just studying vet school right now. I'm talking about the respiratory tract. talking about the lungs, larynx, trachea, all that sort of stuff. And yeah, there's difference between a productive and a non-productive cough, though. A productive cough is obviously where you're coughing up stuff, right? You're producing. That's why it's called productive. A non-productive cough is where you cough and you're not getting anything up. That's why, or that's where a doctor might prescribe, you know, anti-cough medication. Yeah. Being a veterinarian, I'm looking forward to it. The school is tough, but it's doable. And it's all equivalent to human medicine. There's just minor differences. No, I don't treat coughs. I'm just talking about coughing right now. Talking about respiratory physiology. So, yeah, it's just a difference in pressure. I sound sad. Am I good? Yeah, I'm okay. I've just been trying to catch up on these notes. I've been doing this for, well, I took a 2-hour break. I've been doing it since 5 a.m., 4:30. Yeah. Medical studies will make anyone sad. I don't know about that. I disagree with that, but it's interesting. I mean, there's some aspects of it that are sad, like euthanasia, euthanizing animals, especially pets. That's definitely hard. Yeah. But it just depends on the person, really. Now, well, yeah. Okay. Coughing. Is it legal on humans? Euthanasia? No. In some parts of the world, I don't know if it's, I mean, yeah, it could be legal, but I don't know. It's definitely not legal in the United States. Euthanasia is murder. Don't we put old people to sleep? Hold on, let me respond to this other question. Why are you listening, though, like you should take a nap because you've been up for a while? I'll be okay. Thank you for your concern, though. I'll probably go to bed tonight at like 8 p.m. or something, 6 p.m. I don't know. I've usually gone to bed at 8 or so I can wake up at 4. This hasn't been working too well recently. I end up sleeping in, but if I go to bed even earlier, it usually helps. Don't we put old people to sleep when they're like on their deathbed? Well, there's a difference between chemical euthanasia and just natural death. So, for example, there's respirators that breathe for the person, which keeps them alive, or breathes for the animal, whichever. They exist in both practices. Breathing for the person because they're, all right, see you later, wizard. Because their central nervous system isn't working or whatever. And if you were to pull the plug, then that would take away that respiration. However, there's the reason they're doing that plug in the first place is usually because there's a chance that they might come out of it. Like if there's a coma, paralysis, central nervous system paralysis, I don't know. There's a chance they'd come out of it. Now, for old people, we don't put old people to sleep. It's just when they're on their deathbed, they're about to die. That's just how, I mean, that's just kind of how death works. They just, they just fall asleep and they never wake up. That's how a peaceful death is. Um, I can't really explain it. I don't know why their heart stops beating. I don't know why all that happens, but that's just how it goes. When they get old and their body can't take it anymore, whatever it is, disease, if it's just old and decrepit, I don't know. But yeah. Okay, then there are molecular defenses in the respiratory system, like surface antibodies like IgA, IgG. These are responsible for opsonizing inhaled pathogens. Opsonizing, I talked about in previous videos when I was going over immunology. I think I may have covered it. I may not have. But opsonins are non-specific proteins which bind to other organic substances. So it's basically they bind to it and then they do something to deactivate it or phagocytose it, phagocytose it, or they kill it somehow, the virus or whatever. I don't think there's anything peaceful about it. Get me high and put me to sleep, please. Okay. Immunology of surfactant. Various surfactant proteins are also capable of opsonizing bacteria and activating neutrophils. So remember, surfactant was it's like soap, kind of detergents in the lungs that are they increase the compliance of the lungs, make breathing easier, and they also seem to catch those bacteria and activate the immune system at the same time. However, again, you can have deficiencies of those due to premature birth and or sepsis, like pneumonia, stuff like that. There's alveolar macrophages. There's macrophages all throughout the body. Bronchial epithelial cells, that's the barrier tissue, the lining, the protection. And then there's BALT and other lymphoid collections. Tonsils some are found in the back of your throat, right? I've had mine removed as a kid, but that's a prime particle landing spot. Think about it. You breathe in, how likely is it that a particle is going to hit that tonsil? Well, a tonsil is a secondary lymphoid tissue, and it's the most prominent collection of lymphoid tissue. And they act with memory, immunological memory. Okay, that's it for physiology and histology. Now on to nutrition. What are we doing today? 23. Yeah, 23. Okay. So again, body condition score, Cresty neck score. Regional adiposity on a horse is not good. So it's really, I don't know, I've never seen a fat horse, but it's because they don't look that fat when they're fat. A horse that's not fat, you would be able to see pretty good muscle definition on. If you see the bones on a horse, the ribs, yeah, if you see the ribs, it's too skinny. If you see any bone, really, I mean, if it's the kneecap, I mean, that's different. If it's like the knees, right? If you see bones, too skinny. If you don't see muscle definition, horse is too fat. But there's differences between breeds. Draft horses are just strong, and thoroughbreds are good at running, I guess. I don't know. I'm not that well acquainted with horses. Yeah, then there's all sorts of reasons why they might be fat or might be skinny. Disease. They don't feel good. Then they're not hungry. Hey, how's it going? I am studying vet school, or I'm studying in college. Yeah, I'm in vet school. I'm not a veterinarian yet. Hmm. Horses can lose weight for many different reasons. Dysphagia, which means inability to eat. Protein calorie malnutrition. Anorexia or inappetence, they just don't want to eat. So that's different from one where they cannot eat. They don't want to eat. Increased nutrient demands, they're not being fed enough. And malabsorption, maldigestion, or nutrient loss. Plant toxins, whatever. Oh, you're joining med school. That's awesome. What school? What profession? Human medicine or veterinary medicine? Any specializations? If horses have food in front of them, they're going to eat all day because they're driven to by their physiology. It's just how they were designed by God, how they were made. Usually they're curious animals, so if you go into their pen and they turn away from you, then there might be something wrong with that horse. The horse might not be feeling well. General medicine. That's what I'm going to be doing, but animal-wise, I'm going to be a general practitioner. So that's really cool. That's awesome. Mostly, though, most horse issues. Oh, for an undergrad degree, okay. Are you going to do med school as well afterward? How many years of school will that be total? Is it going to be 8 or so? Gastric ulcers, that's a lifestyle disease for horses. Risk factors, most generally it's because they're being fed wrong, like a high grain diet, or they're fasting too long, um, or they're being kept to their stall. Maybe it's because of stress, maybe intense exercise, etc., etc. Walking the horse can help if they get colic, which is just abdominal pain, because it helps move around those intestinal contents. Can feed them alfalfa, that kind of helps because it's high in calcium. Just feeding a roughage, a good quality roughage is a good idea. A physiologically appropriate diet for horses is a good idea. Again, colic is just a general term for abdominal pain. Clinical signs associated with it. They might roll around, they might lay down, whatever it is. It can happen for many reasons. Change in feed, change in the type of feed, time spent in the stall, water access, dental care, deworming. Random reasons. Not random, but. And then some horses can be picky because of the water they drink. Some don't find their water palatable. So giving them palatable water might be a thing you need to do. Like they might just refuse to drink it. Pretty crazy. Then there are types of horses called easy keepers. This is basically, they can just be around food and they'll gain weight. They don't even have to eat it. They just look at it and they gain weight. Not literally, but they gain weight easily. It's because they were genetically adapted to living in highlands, mountains, They lived in places where there wasn't much food, and their bodies are adapted to that. Oh, wow. That's awesome. That's really efficient. Only 5 years. Wow. Yeah, in America, we have to do undergraduate for like 3 to 4 years. Half of it's not even applicable to what we're learning. Some of it is, but most of it's just kind of general education review from high school. And then another 4 years of whatever you want to do, whether it be, well, for vet school, at least that's how it is. It's a 4-year program. So, but I don't know. I don't know the best way to teach people. I'm not a teacher, nor am I someone who comes up with those things. There's also equine metabolic syndrome. Metabolic syndrome is a thing in humans and every other animal too. It's basically, I'd say it's due to being fed an inappropriate diet, one that's not physiologically appropriate, but other people might say something different. What it leads to is abnormal insulin metabolism, obesity and/or regional adiposity, weight loss resistance, and abnormal fat metabolism, and a predisposition for laminitis, which is very painful for horses. That's basically where their hoofs come off. Really painful. And horses and humans alike are commonly getting obese nowadays. It's a real problem. But Cresty neck score, not crusty, but Cresty neck score has been a good tool to evaluate whether a horse has equine metabolic syndrome. A better tool than body condition scoring by itself. And that's it for nutrition. All right, that's it for this particular session. So thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next one.